Good evening, folks. It's your bro, Richie here, and tonight in this video, I'm back with another I'm back with another car explanation video for y'all. So, almost said Fast and Furious, but no, this time it's not gonna be Fast and Furious, which is why I'm gonna be taking a break from Fast and Furious this time. So, by the way, happy Christmas Eve to all of you out there, and happy Christmas for you tomorrow morning. So, tonight in this video, I'll be talking to you about a different car, which this one is like one of my most favorite 50s cars of all time. So, um, wondering what car I'm talking about? Yep. Tonight in this video, I'll be talking to you about the glorious, beautiful, classic, really beautiful 1955 to 1957 Chevy Tri-5. It's essentially like the Bel Air, but a little bit different. Just like different versions of these cars. So, before I start, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you're alerted of when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so without any further ado, let's begin. So the 1955 to 1957 Chevy Tri-5. So Chevy Tri-5. Okay, so 1955 to 1957 Chevy Tri-5. Here we go. So, 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 in automobile parlance, Tri-5 refers to the 1955, 56, and 57 Chevy automobiles. In particular, the 150, 210, Bel Air, and Nomad. Revolutionary in their day, they spawned a devoted following that exists in clubs, websites, and even entire businesses. So entire businesses that exclusively cater to the enthusiasts of the Tri-5 automobiles. All featured a common for the era front motor rear-wheel drive layout. Proper layout. They remain some of the most popular years of Chevys for collectors, resto modders, and hot rodders as well. So people who do like resto mods say resto modders and hot rodders. Next up, background. Sorry. Next up, background. One of the most influential elements of the Tri-5 was the recent development of their newest 4.3 liter 265 CID V8, which was first offered in 1955, which was its first American V8, I think. I'm not so sure. So, which was first offered in 1955 during the mid-50s. So during the mid-50s, it was an OHV, so overhead valve high it was an OHV overhead valve high compression, short stroke design that remained in production in various forms for decades. The base V8, so the standard V8 had a two-barrel carburetor, and was rated at 162 horsepower. And the power pack option said power pack option So power pack option featured a 4-barrel carburetor, another so which featured a 4-barrel carburetor, another upgrades yielding 180 horsepower. Later, a super power pack option added higher compression and a further 15 horsepower increase, bringing it up to 195 horsepower, which is not bad for the 1950s, pretty much. For the mid 50s, it's not too bad, it's pretty good. 55 and 57 were watershed years for Chevy, who spent $1 million in ni- who spent $1 million in 1956 alone for retooling. So $1 million in 1956 alone for retooling in order to make their less expensive Bel Air models look more like a Cadillac, culminating in 1957 with their most extravagant tail fins and Cadillac-inspired bumper guards. Next is 1955. So, um, so, so this is the model production of how many were made in for different versions. Um, so for the 150, they made 143,000 and 13 for the 150s. 210s, 831,000. So 831,971. So 831,900. So 831,971. So 831,971 were made for the 210s. The Bel Airs, 800,968. For the Nomads, between 6,103 to 78. So 6,103 to 7,886 total. It doesn't say because it doesn't really say how much there is, like in total. Possibly because it's like kind of too complicated to like add up. But I'll add up the total and put it down in the comments of how many were made in total. So for the motors, two types you could choose from is either a 3.9 liter 235 inline 6, or if you want to go all out, a 4.3 liter 265 V8. All right, so around 1955. So in 55, so during the mid 50s, during the mid 50s, Americans pushed 7.1 million, so 7,100,000 new automobiles, including 1.7 million, so 1,700,000 Chevys, giving the company fully 44% of the low price market, and surpassing Ford in total unit sales by 250,000, so 250,000. The Bel Air's an instant hit with consumers, with a minimally equipped 150 models starting under $1,600. Not too bad, less than $2,000. That's pretty good. And featuring an inline six motor, so an inline six, 3.9 liter 235. the Where's that? The intro of the new optional 4.3 liter 4.3 liter Chevy 260, so 4.3 liter Chevy 265 V8. So the intro of the newly optional 4.3 liter Chevy 265 162 horsepower V8, coupled with a, I think, 2-speed or 3-speed, I think, Power Glide automatic, quickly earned the model the nickname the Hot One. In the first year of production, the oil filters The oil filter is considered an option, although not having it led to significantly shorter engine life. 1955 also saw the intro of the Chevy Nomad. So 1955 also saw the 1955 also saw 1955 also saw the intro of the Chevy Nomad station, not station, Chevy Nomad. So 1955 also saw the intro of the Chevy Nomad sport wagon. Excuse me. So 1955 also saw the intro of the Chevy Nomad sport wagon, introduced mid-year, somewhere between 6103 and 7886 were produced in 1955, making them more rare. So rare. It was available only in the Bel Air trim with a V8 as standard equipment, priced at $2,571. A little bit over 2.5 grand, but not too bad. It was at the higher end of the Chevy pricing. It was at the higher end of the Chevy pricing scale, but came standard with plush carpeting, two-tone paint, headliner trim, and other features that separated it from the most basic 150 series Chevys. Next up, 1956. So 56 was basically a carryover model. So carryover model with minor changes to the grill trim and other accessories. It meant huge gains in sales for Chevy, who sold 104,800 and 104,850 for up Bel Air models. So Bel Air models due in parts to the new V8 introduced a year before, which was I believe 1955, I think. Anyways, by this time their 4.3-liter 265 V8 had gained popularity with hot rodders who found the V8 easy to modify for horsepower gains. So in other words, they found it easy to modify them with more power. This wasn't lost on Chevy's engineers, who managed to up the horsepower in 1956 from 162 to 225 horsepower. So that is a 63 horsepower increase. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty powerful. Not bad for 1956. It's pretty good for the mid 1950s. It's pretty good. That's so 63 horsepower. So 63 horsepower increase. So 63 horsepower increase, with optional add-ons. For 56, the 4.3-liter 265 V8 was modified to include an integral oil filter with a range of power choices from 162 horsepower from the base V8 up to 240 horsepower with a for RPO regular production option, 411 SPP or super power pack offered mid-year. Out of those different versions, I picked the one with 240 horsepower. I mean, it's like the most amount of power for this car, which is pretty good. For the 50s, that's pretty powerful. So 240 horsepower for the regular production option or RPO, 411 SPP or super power pack offered mid-year. The average two-door Bel Air in 1956 sold for just $2,100. Pretty good. A little bit over 2 grand, but still pretty good. Which was considered a good value. Which is considered a good value. A good value at the time. Prices ranging from $1,665 for the 150 sedan with an inline six, to $2,443 for the V8 convertible, with Nomad models running slightly higher, maybe 2.5 grand, maybe 3 grand, I don't know. Same with Nomad models running slightly higher. I don't know how much, but well, I just guessed it. Anyways, in 1956, in 1956, God rest his soul, may rest in peace. Uh, American engineer, well, Russian American engineer, uh, Zachary Zora Arkasdantov, or his full name was. Who was born as Zakhar Arkus, or his full name was Zora Arkasdantov, born December 25th, 1909, in the capital of Brussels in Belgium, passed away age 86 on April 21st, 1996, in Grosse Pointe, or Grasse Pointe. It's basically Grosse Pointe with an E at the end of both the words. So in the city of Grosse Pointe, Wayne County, Michigan, who's a Russian American engineer whose work on a Chevy Corvette earned him the nickname Father of the Corvettes. His passing is currently unknown. We have no idea how he passed away. Not 100% sure. Um, so in 1956, he so he so he broke the time record broke the time record ascending Pikes Peak in Colorado, one of the most dangerous roads in Colorado, in a pre-production 56, so 1956 Bel Air, equipped with a 4.3 liter 265 V8 in just 17 minutes and 24.05 seconds, shattering the previous record of 19 minutes and 25.7 seconds set 21 years before. I think it was 21 years before he passed away. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, so last up is 1957, and I'll end it there. The last of the Tri 5 Chevys introduced several changes, including the large tail fins, twin rocket hood design, even more chrome tricolor paint, and a choices from no less than 7 different V8s. While in 1957, Ford outsold Chevy for the first time in a great while. Years later, years later they used the used 57 Chevys would sell for hundreds more than their Ford counterparts. As the horsepower race continued, Chevy introduced a new version of their small block, but a displacement of 4.3 liters, 283 cubic inches, and 245 horsepower. It was pretty good. Not bad in the fifth. Not bad in 1957. 245 horsepower is pretty good. They also introduced a limited number of Rochester fuel-injected 4.3 liter 283 V8s that produced 283 horsepower, the same number as the cubic inches. I go with that one. Literally, that's pretty good. 283 horsepower. That's the same horsepower level as the gentleman's agreement for an R34. So R32, R33, and R34 Skyline GTR. Literally, that's 283 horsepower. It's pretty good. It makes like more power than Then a 70s Buick Riviera boat tail, which that from a 7.5 liter 455 V8 made only 250 horsepower, but that 283, that's next level. That's pretty good. So 283 horsepower. The so wait. So they also introduced a limited number of Rochester fuel injected 4.3 liter 283 V8s that produced 283 horsepower, the first production V8 to achieve 1 horsepower per cubic inch. For both all intents and purposes, this made the 57 Bel Air a hot rod right off the production line. It was available with it was available it was available with only a manual. The base 4.3 liter wait the base 265 V8 saw an increase from 170 to 185 horsepower. I mean, not much, 15 horsepower, but a little bit better, but still not so much. 185 horsepower as well. While not as popular as the previous year's offering, Chevy still managed to sell 1.5 million, so 1,500,000 cars in 1957. Last part and all that there. Even now, the 57 Bel Air is one of the most sought after collector cars ever produced. Alright, and that's pretty much it, I guess. So, that's pretty much it. So the 283, I believe that's either a 4.5 or 4.6 liter V8 or 4.65. I have no idea. I think it's one of those. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for the Chevy Bel Air. So, not Bel Air, Tri-5. Sorry. It just looks like a Bel Air, which technically does. So that's pretty much it for the Chevy Tri-5. So, if you guys like this video, like, subscribe, comment below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all so you learn when I make brainy uploads. Alright, so that'll pretty much be it. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Till then, stay safe, have a great evening, have a great Christmas Eve, and have a great day tomorrow morning on Christmas Day as well. And I will see you guys soon in the next video. So yeah, take care, folks. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye. So, good night, folks.